companies that are held, companies in association with the Petroecuador, which is the Ecuadorian oil company. There's this one here, 79, which is Sabara territory. It's at the entering of the Conambo water basin, which is not explored, and the scientists and people who have done some research in Yasuní, they think that it's as biodiverse, if not more biodiverse than Yasuní. So this area here, 79, is going to be exploited by one company, a Chinese company called Andes Petroleum, right? And the funny thing about, or the sad thing about this area 79 is that the Sapara, there are only 500 Sapara left in the world, right? There were 500,000 in the early 20th century, but now there's only 500. And they saw, like when the company started getting into the Amazon basin, they saw that the animals started to die, that their plants started to die too, that they had less food, etc. So in this area, they created a reserve for the animals. So they don't hunt there. They just they keep those animals as if it were like a nursery. So they keep that area safe. So all the animals in the air in the neighboring areas can go there and reproduce and get fat, and then when they leave the reservoir, they can hunt them, right? So that area, the area 79, is where this Chinese company is going to start drilling next year. Yeah.
How are these different sections created, and by whom?
By the Ecuadorian government. I don't know. I think that there's they did what do you call aerial surveys, and they estimated the potential oil revenue that could get extracted from each one of these areas, right? And based on that, they opened the bids, and then the different governments and different companies are bidding on. One thing is that there are only 500 people. If they start drilling here, their water supply is going to disappear, basically, or it's going to be contaminated. And you know what happened in the north, right? You've done a little bit of research of what happened in the northern part of Ecuador with the Cofan, which is another nationality. They extracted oil there, they contaminated. And I read somewhere around here that you know about the Texaco, right? Texaco spill that now it's been a back and forth between Texaco and the Cofanes, etc. But apparently they're going to start paying for it, or I don't know. They will not pay voluntarily, but they will have to start paying for it. So they are afraid that if they start doing the same thing that they did in the northern part of Ecuador, there everything is going to disappear. And they're only 500, right? So if you think of it, if they start drilling there next year and they run out of food, they think the Sapara, and one of my, I could call him source because he's a source, but he's kind of a friend because I've been in his house and I shared his food and I met his family. So they believe that if they start drilling there, they will all disappear. They have no reason to be alive. And one of the things, the Sapara, they already, in their Bible, which they are writing right now, because they didn't have a written language, so they're starting to write the Bible. In their Bible, they say and they announce that their culture is going to disappear. There's not going to be physical Sapara, like persons, in that land anymore. But also they believe that their souls stay in the land with the animals, right? So they want to preserve the land for the animals and for their own souls. So when they're gone, there's something that remains from their souls, their spirits, and the culture and if they start drilling for oil there, that's unlikely to happen. The one last thing, and I don't want to be a bummer, although it's a very sad story, and this is probably something that, I mean, I don't know if you ever heard this word, or I don't even know. You know what a genocide is, right?
Yeah.
What is a genocide? Yeah, it's a murder of an entire people, right? Like an entire nationality or an entire ethnicity gets just wiped out of the face of the earth, right? Well, usually, like, those types of acts are performed with a political reason or a national reason. Like, if this happens, right, in Ecuador, so if the Zapara disappear, it's going to be the first time in history, probably, I mean, depending on how you consider it, but it could be the first time in history that a genocide is performed by a private corporation, right? Which is scary. Yeah. Oh, it's falling. So yeah, I think that it's a very important. I'm really happy that you're discussing this issue and you're interested in what's going on in Ecuador. I could show you some photos of. I mean, they're not very good.
Pablo, while you're pulling photos up, do you mind if we open the floor to some questions?
No, that would be great. Yeah.
Okay. So, does anybody want to jump in? Is there anything you want to ask? I have a list of questions from Mr. Sousa's morning classes. I can jump in with those. What do you guys? Jump in with those. I will jump in with those. Thank you. Okay, so they wanted to know how you first became. Well, I guess you covered that. Let me switch to this one. Here's one that's good. Do you think that the world will ever have the foresight or be progressive enough to preserve a culture before it's too late?
No. But I mean, I don't know. It's complicated because, you know what? I'm talking about this, and I'm talking about oil exploitation, etc. And I drove here today, and my car runs on gas, right? So, I mean, it's difficult to. You can hold it. It's difficult to think about it because we are immersed in a world that basically runs on certain things, and we take them for granted, and we operate on those norms that come from before. And in order, I think, to change those things, we need to be super smart, and we need to be super, all of us, and we need to be to understand what we're losing and what we're killing, right? And I don't know if everybody is on board, and I don't know how easy that is, right? I wish it were like, I mean, I wish I were a little bit more optimistic, but yeah. Oh, yeah.
So what do you think should be done about this oil? Because as you're saying, there's a bunch of, the world kind of runs on oil. But
you know, I brought Manari. This is do you have you've probably seen this, maybe. So I don't know if there's a little photo of Manari. You can pass it around. This guy here is on page 2. So Manari is the leader here of the Zapara in Ecuador. And I brought him here, and he's in the middle of he started the conference, and he said, well, I know you have a financial crisis here and you have unemployment. We don't have unemployment and we don't have financial crisis, so we can teach you how to do that. And as mind blowing as that may be, I don't know. Maybe the best idea that I mean, could be a good idea to actually listen to what they have to propose, right? I think that the main problem that we have had as a culture is that we are not very open to ideas that come from other cultures, and yeah, we're a little stubborn. We think that we know it all, and sometimes we screw it pretty badly. I mean, we screwed it pretty badly with the oil thing, and maybe it could be a good time to actually start opening our ears a little bit more and listening to what these people have to say. I don't know. I don't know if I have a solution to it. I think that we should pay more attention to what other people that are different from us have to say.
Thank you.
Yeah. No. The UN? No. No, I don't think so. No, I don't think that the UN. I mean, it is. They have a permanent. Manari is part of the permanent delegation of this Native American peoples to the United Nations, but they haven't done much. Every year they come and they were in the Doha. I mean, there's also like this you know the gatherings to curb global warming, and they go there. Everybody's like super. Yeah, they listen to them and they say yes, we're gonna change it, and nothing happens. Even this initiative, the Yasuni YTT initiative, which was a very, very daring and innovative initiative. Like basically Correa was asking, just pay for half of what we estimate we could make if we sold all that oil, and we're gonna leave it underground. Even that initiative, like which was pretty interesting, didn't fly. Now people say that Correa did it as a PR. That he wanted to show the world that he's a very progressive and very intelligent president, but he didn't really mean it. I think he actually did mean it, and had he gotten the money, he would have left the oil on the ground. But everything runs on oil. Our cars, all those cars over there, they run on gas. You go back home and many of you will have, like, I don't know, your boilers will run on kerosene. Everything, like plastic, everything you're wearing that is plastic. And you're thinking of Ecuador. Ecuador only produces 0.5% of all the oil in the world, right? 0.5 of all the crude in the world. It's very small, but for Ecuador, it's pretty much 50% of what of their entire exports. So it's a lot for them.
The bell is about to ring for these guys to take a break. So what I want to do is pause here, guys. You can take a break, get a drink, use the restroom, whatever. As you're coming back in, though, try to keep that to about a minute. I want you to come in and take a look at each other's proposals, because then we're going to come back and have a smaller group conversation.